Hebrews chapter 11 verses 22. By faith Moses' parents, when he was born and he was 3 months old, and they saw that he was not an ordinary child, they were not afraid of the king's verdict. By faith Moses rather chose that when he grew up, he refused to be known as a child of Pharaoh. He would rather suffer with the children of God than enjoy the pleasures of Egypt for a little while. Let's go back a little bit. Moses' life is a life of beauty. It's a life of adventure. It's a life of peril, pain, and problems. Moses is born at a critical time of funerals and deaths. Critical also for us to understand that you need to know that every child that is born faces up the challenges of life. Every idea that is born faces the challenges of life. Be careful of your midwives that you put to deliver your dreams. Some of these midwives are under instructions to kill those dreams. If they are male, take note, did you ever bother why they are male? Because if they are male, they have seeds of procreation and regenerations. And Pharaoh had put midwives who would make sure that only girls were being born. Every male child is under a threat. For if God can kill men in the nation, he will have them to kill the entire society. Moses was born at such a time. He grew up with the crocodiles of the river Nile. You know they're the biggest crocodiles in the world. He grew up all in isolation, in a small little basket, floating on the riverside. I love God for that. When God places you in isolation, he is even preparing for your future. Here is a boy who grew up without being cuddled, living on his mother's breast every time. He cried himself to sleep in the reeds of the river Nile, with his sister Miriam watching at a distance. I like that part there. But when God sees your situation, he will not solve it the way you want it to be solved. He does not bring in your auntie or your brother or your sister or your cousin to come and assist you out of a problem. He brings your arch enemy, Pharaoh's daughter. Now that throws the whole equation out of picture. You would want someone at least from the Hebrew family to protect this child. But God is not a man. He does not need men to make his plans come to pass. Even in the hand of an enemy, God can breed and grow a blessing for himself. He takes his own child from the reeds of the river Nile into the university corridors of Egypt. Moses was taught witchcraft. You might not know, go and read. Moses was taught necromancy. Moses was taught magic. Moses was taught palm reading, military prose, literature. He was brought up as an Egyptian. Now that's what God does. Many of us are too stereotyped. We think that God can only be found in Genesis chapter 2, Psalm 23, Revelation 14, and John 3, verse 16. God is not a man that is afraid of man. He can even use your enemies to cook your blessings for you and make you a better person. Grows up within the corridors of power. He was actually going to assume the role of the next Pharaoh Thutmose himself. But Moses, when he became mature, that's the part I like very much. When he became mature, you see, it's a development here. Firstly, when the parents saw him, they saw that he was not an ordinary child. Here is the challenge. Don't be ordinary, therefore. Don't be common. If all the boys are cutting this hammock thing, a mohawk, don't also cut on the mohawk thing. That's common. If everyone is poking their ears and sticking things on their tongues, that's common. Don't be ordinary. If all the boys are hanging trousers and they're falling off, thinking that's swag, that's common. Don't be common. For if you are extraordinary, God can also do an extraordinary work through you. The parents saw. I want to start with you parents. You need to look into your eyes and begin to see your children and begin to identify the traits of divine signature as to what God intends to do with this one. And begin to treat your children as they are going to become. Not only that, because they saw that he was not an ordinary child, they were not afraid of what the king would do to them. Secondly, because they brought this boy up in the fear of the Lord. Though he was later on taken away from them, the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should grow. So that when he is grown up, the Bible then says when he was grown up, he decided it is better to suffer with my children than enjoy the pleasures of Pharaoh's house for a little while. The decisions in life are not always in pleasure. The decisions in life are in choosing right. Someone once said, in this life, it is easier to fight for rights than to fight for the right. For to fight for rights does not need character, but to fight the right tests your character. Therefore, you need to get up one morning and say, do I live for rights or do I stand up for what is right? Moses made up a decision, and his decision placed him in the hands of God. It's my prayer for you in this life that is full of nice things in the palaces of Pharaoh, full of promises in the palaces of Pharaoh, full of promissory, beautiful women on every side, and careers that are flourishing. Like Moses, you'd rather decide to suffer with the children of God for a little while. Suffer with the children for a little while than enjoy the pleasures of sin. May the Lord help you to make that choice for better things.